Now, where am I, you may ask? The straightforward answer is I'm inside a plane, but why can't you see me? That's because I'm inside the room. Yes, that's right. Today, Shanghai Fly is taking you on board on Nippon Airways' latest business class product, the room. What a beautiful day it is at London Heathrow despite the worldwide coronavirus epidemic. It is now actually the time to leave the UK after the cases here spiked in the last few days. Here we are inside the Queen's or the Star Alliance terminal at London Heathrow Airport. With the worldwide impact of coronavirus, commercial aviation industry is taking its toll with almost non-existent demand for air travel. Now, it's a ghost town here at Heathrow, but who doesn't like some fast tracks through security? What I absolutely love about UK is its consistent premium access throughout its major airports. You will never end up wasting 2 hours immigration compared to the United States. Now, I'm never a big fan of wearing masks, but when boarding a Japanese airplane, there's nothing much you can do about it. But I can tell you, it is really suffocating. Now, most of the international long-haul flights depart from Terminal 2 Bravo, which is a building connected by an underground walkway to the main Queen's Terminal. You'll be departing there should you have a boarding pass with a gate initial of B as Bravo. That being said, it's approximately a 15-minute walk over to B gate, which constitutes of an escalator ride, bridge and tunnel. Now, is the Singapore Airlines lounge worth such a strenuous walk? You'll find out very soon. Star Alliance has a total of 4 lounges inside Terminal 2, 3 of which are located in the B gate area with the exception of the Lufthansa lounge. Now, I'm not kidding when I say it's a ghost town. You can even take your mask off for a while here inside Heathrow Terminal 2. My first destination of the day is the United Club, the most Polaris-like United Club anywhere on Earth. United has an abundant amount of flights out of Heathrow every day, but almost all of them depart in the morning hours, which means this lounge is pretty much empty from noon to sunset. Similar to Oneworld, Star Alliance Gold and Premium Class passengers have the liberty of choosing any lounges they prefer. The United Club is a vertical space stretched along a window overlooking the tarmac with a complimentary bar being its spotlight. Unlike the clubs in the US where they charge extra for food and beverages, the club at Heathrow offers a wide variety of complimentary food that is outstanding for an American carrier. With now 20 minutes left until boarding, I strolled across the building to the Singapore Airlines lounge, which is much smaller in size and ancient in design. The food and beverages, while limited, were still high quality with an Asian touch. Now, is it a hype or is it indeed the world's most spacious business class? It is now the time for truth. Once on board, the cab interior immediately bolsters the feeling of tranquility with soft color tone and minimal contrast. This is nothing like the Instagrammable Qsuite cabin, but much more elegant in design and optimal in space. My pre-assigned Suite 9 Kilo is the third row window seat in the largest center business class cabin. The suite is very exposed when the door is kept open during boarding, which allows plentiful spaces to sort your luggage. The installation of center overhead luggage rack makes the cabin slightly claustrophobic when standing due to the height of the suite wall. The suites along the window side alternate between forward and rear facing, but unlike Qsuite, all of the seats are close to the window since they're basically a couch. Waiting inside the room during boarding are pillow, headphones, slippers, and many more bedding items. The width of the seat is perhaps what's the most evolutionary about the room. In fact, this business class seat is substantially wider than the first class on the same aircraft. Comparing the room to Qsuite, the latter seems like a miniature version of ANA's new business class product. The room surface is polished with streamlined wooden design with a decently sized storage cabinet on the desk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for takeoff. Please make sure that the seatbelt is securely fastened.
elaborate four-course Japanese meal was on the mark, considered and it's catered at Heathrow, except for the beef main course that was not exactly as skyaki as described on the menu. Anyways, the room is meant for a good night's sleep, so let's now shut the doors and settle in the room. The room itself is not only wide up at shoulder area, but also at the ottoman. You can pretty much move around however you like. Sunlight ensues, which was one of the most comfortable nap I've ever had in business class. With the cabin lights now turned on, it's time to make the most out of the 2.5 hours left until landing, and eating is the most productive thing I can think of. For some reasons, 11 hours flight now seems a little too short for my appetite. Probably a complication resulted from countless 15 hours long haul between China and the US, where I still had plentiful time to sleep aside from 3 meals. On another note, the impact of coronavirus on global air travel demand is represented by this flight as well, with only 89 passengers on this Boeing 777 from London to Tokyo, an otherwise highly populated route both in terms of business and tourism. ANA has one of the largest business class cabin on its Boeing 777, with a total of 64 rooms spread across 3 cabins. This can be a nightmare for the crew, but on the other hand, ideal for me to have a digestion walk. My very first long-haul flight on ANA has now come to an end as land comes back to sight after 11 hours at Stratosphere. The Japanese hospitality is consistently shown on board, with strict etiquette from the moment of boarding and proactive turn-down service. What I really like about the Japanese service is how they are friendly while remaining a comfortable distance for passengers to enjoy some private time. Many would ask the question of how ANA compares to Japan Airlines, and I would say JAL has an advantage in all areas prior to ANA's room, but with this evolutionary product being introduced, it's not only demanding Japan Airlines but rather establishing a new benchmark for the industry as a whole.